Hey guys, Jack here. Thanks for watching the Great Gallivanting and the Wayfarer Expedition, and welcome to my fifth and final week along the Camino de Santiago as I walk from Sarria to Santiago de Compostela and the last 100+ K along the way. Hope you've enjoyed the videos so far. If you do, be sure to like them, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single thing coming to you from the adventure across the world. So, let's get walking. Well, it's an early morning here in Sarria. It's no earlier than any other morning, let's be honest. 6:30, I managed to get out of the hostel, gonna grab coffee and hopefully breakfast at the only place that's open, and then get going. Let me tell you, the people in my room last night don't like the windows open, don't like the doors open. It's hot in there, and there's a group of old people, and it sounded like one of those whale noises, CDs with all the snoring. Holy crap. Hopefully I don't gotta deal with that for the many days going forward.
My name's Jack Rogers. In June of 2023, I decided I'd had it with normal life and set out to travel the world. 2 years later, I'm still going. I've seen some cool things in my time. I've swam the Nile, followed a matador around Spain, dived the world's oceans, and even returned to Iraq after 5 years away. Now I'm off on my next expedition, an 18-month trek through some of the world's most fascinating pilgrimages. My journey will take me to 12 countries as I walk in the shoes of religious pilgrims, ancient traders, and soldiers who blazed these trails centuries ago. This isn't just another trip. Unlike my first journey, I won't be walking the earth aimlessly. This is a chance to walk with purpose, to trace the footsteps of those who move for faith and survival. These routes carry stories, and I intend to find mine among them. I've never attempted anything like this before, but after 2 years of discovering what this world has to offer, I'm ready to take the plunge into some of life's deeper meaning. I'll be tested, physically and mentally, but I know in the end, it will all be worth it as I become a wayfarer.
So I've just learned, while having my coffee, today's the 5th day. They've canceled the trains between Galicia and Madrid. Galicia is the autonomous community I'm in right now, and that's where Santiago is. 5th day in a row because of the fires, and the minister and the bus companies and the train companies have come out and said, look, it's not about replacing trains with buses. We don't have enough. There are thousands of people a day who use this service, and there's just not enough buses to go around between the private companies and the government. We just can't do it, and all that's moot because the roads are closed, the rail lines are closed. There's nothing anyone can do because of the fires. So I'm still a week away from Santiago, so maybe they'll be open by then, but if not, I might be buying a very expensive plane ticket to Madrid or Sevilla to take the train up to Madrid. Almost there.
Talk about a fun way to start my last week on the Camino. Oh well, it's just something I would have to keep an eye on. Even though there were a lot of people in the albergue the night before, I didn't see a whole lot at the beginning of my walk. Of course, that could also be because I might have taken a wrong turn at some point. That's fine. The Camino really isn't a point A to point B thing. It's a walk, and the point A to point B is just something that we made up along the way. Of course, as the daytime came, I started to see a lot of people. Most of them had gotten an early start before me, but stopped at cafes along the way, so I caught up. It was crazy to think that I've been on the road for 4 weeks now, and these people were just getting started for the last 100K.
So I've just passed the 100K mark, and it wasn't as moody, super as I thought it would be. But I've also been walking for over a week. There's a lot of these people just started yesterday. I mean, it's harder to see in the videos because of the fog, but there's a lot more people on the road than there were not necessarily yesterday, but 2 days ago and before. A lot.
With the clouds overhead, I started to notice that I wasn't seeing as much smoke. That's because I'd finally walked out of the quote-unquote danger area. But that didn't mean that the fire still wasn't an issue. I didn't know how I was going to get to Madrid if the trains didn't go.
Oh look, only like 35 minutes to the end, the sun decides to make an appearance.
This walk into Portomarín was beautiful, and I love the long bridge over the nice blue water. I wonder what it must have been like for pilgrims of old who were crossing stone bridges on foot. As luck would have it though, there was insult to injury with needing to climb up these stairs right at the end.
So I made it to Portomarín, and food's kind of expensive. I'm gonna end up over budget today, just how it is. And I thought, I was like, oh, I'll eat lunch out and then go to the supermarket. But every review online for every supermarket is, don't. They scam you, they've got great sleight of hand. They'll charge you 3 to 4 times, they won't scan the barcodes. They'll charge you for things that you didn't even see and that you didn't buy. So I guess I'll be going over today for food, because food is expensive, but I'm not about to get scammed by these freaking people taking advantage of pilgrims along a religious pilgrimage.
The irony wasn't lost on me either, that those supermarkets all surrounded the main church in town. Some people just don't practice what they preach.
It's about 8:20 in the morning. I'm leaving Portomarín. It's a very late start, but I've only got about a 3-hour walk today, because I'm not doing the full 28 to Paras today, because I know that my ankle can't take it. But I gotta say, I talked about the supermarket and everyone's saying, oh, it's scamming yesterday, and then I go to the ATM, because for some reason everything is cash only along the Camino. No one likes to take card, and so it's €7 fee to use the ATM, which is just extortionate in a community that only takes cash. That's ridiculous. And I've noticed it several places along the Camino, like 6, 7, 8, and everyone's like, oh, we don't take card, we don't take card, we don't take card. And I get the, part of the fees and everything, but this is the European continent where everyone pays with their phone or with their iWatch or with a card. So I'm kind of annoyed with that I probably paid $20, $30 in ATM fees the past couple of weeks, just because, nope, we don't accept card.
Putting all that aside, it was nice to have an easy, short day of walking, especially being so close to Sarria and dealing with all the pilgrims along the way. I did find it funny though that even though I wasn't in a hurry, because I had my legs under me, I was really moving past these new pilgrims. The Camino's not a race, and I wasn't treating it like one, but it was just my natural pace at this point.
So I've been talking about the fires as I've been walking, and I'm fortunately right now outside of that area. But the Santiago ranch, which is one of the ganaderias that supplies fighting bulls, good ones too, was not so lucky. 80% destroyed. And the news coverage and the statements from the owners was all these people that claimed to care about the environment and claimed to care about the animals, none of them showed up. They just let our ranch burn. But fortunately, hundreds, according to them, of volunteers, Torino volunteers, showed up with trailers and horses and equipment, and in a good old-fashioned cattle drive helped move most of the cattle out, cutting fences along the way away from the fire. So good on them. This is what tauromaquia is all about. Unfortunately, there were several cattle that didn't make it, which is sad, and it's unknown what the cost and impact on the ranch is going to be. So it's just a very tangible sight to see and hear about of how these fires are affecting people. And I just, many prayers and thoughts for the Ganaderia and for a speedy recovery, recuperation, and return to normalcy as best as they can, having lost 80% of their grazing land, and the 20% that they saved were where the cattle had already grazed. So it's not exactly viable right now for them to use. So anyway, here's hoping for their future and recovery.
I love the variety of scenery on the last 100K of the Camino, because on the rest of it, it was kind of one thing or another. You were either going up into the mountains, going through the forest, walking along the road, or out in the Spanish Campo. But here in the last 100K, it was passing through all of those every single day.
Something that occurred to me today on the road to Arzua is that I'm over Portugal now, which is in a different time zone than Spain. It's an hour behind Spain, but all of Spain is in the same time zone for historical reasons that may or may not make sense. What I didn't consider is that I started on the western edge of France and come all the way across Spain into what should be another time zone. And the fact that the sun rises later and later as you move further west, and it sets later and later as you move further west. So I'm walking around at 7:30 going, it's still dark out, what the heck? And I was like, oh wait, if I was just 100 kilometers south, I'd be in a different time zone. It'd be this dark at a normal time. So it's a funny part about traveling and the weird geopolitics of even time zones.
It was another early wake up and another day of walking, and it amazed me how fast this part of the Camino was going. I had been used to travel, explore, and now it was waking up in a new place and going to bed in another one every day. That came with a trade-off though. I wasn't able to explore the cities or look at the churches in the way that I had just a week before. When you're on the Camino and you've got a backstop of a timeline, it's just one foot in front of the other, looking at things as you pass. Granted, even those things can be pretty cool at times.
All right, I'm breaking the 50K mark. Only 50K left. 2.5 days to go till Santiago. It's quite strange that it's beginning soon. Talked to Phoebe about that last night. It's kind of weird, considering where I was a month ago today.
Because I had split this stage into 2 days of walking, I couldn't check into my albergue yet, even though I left late. So I stopped to enjoy a sandwich at a picnic table somewhere along the road. I have to admit, these views didn't suck.
I made it to Arzua, which means there's only 2 days of walking left. Got about 10 minutes till I get to the hostel, but on the way, there's a supermercado dia. And after 28K, if you know me, you know what that means.
The supermercado dia cookies. Seriously, it shouldn't be okay for a supermarket to have such good desserts.
Second to last day on the Camino, and here's something that people in Texas are both jealous of and can't understand. Well, they can understand. They wish they could have it. Is that it's freaking cold. It is middle of August, and I'm wishing I was wearing long pants with these long sleeves, the thicker long sleeves. Like it is cold out this morning. Holy crap!
This sign meant a lot to me. I was only 33 kilometers away after 33 days on the road, and yeah, I hadn't walked all those days. But it would still end up being a 33-day journey from Zhejiang to Santiago. I really would have thought that it would have hit me by now with some sort of grand realization or enlightened epiphany, but all I could think about was putting one foot in front of the other and making my way to the end of this stretch of the Wayfarer Expedition.
All right, it's my last morning along the Camino, and I was talking with Sylvia, who I met the first day on the road to Roncesvalles. She was the first person I met actually walking the Camino. We met up a couple times, and it's hard to believe that tomorrow is the culmination of over a month's worth of work, and thinking back on how far I've come and what all's transpired in that month. For me, getting hurt, taking buses, getting stranded, standing out in this 100 Fahrenheit heat for hours waiting on a bus that's an hour late, finally starting to walk again. It's pretty crazy, but it ends today.
The feel on the Camino this day was different than any other day. Everyone, from people who had been hiking for a long time to those who had just started in Sarria, was buzzing with excitement. The thing about this last day on the Camino is that all of the different Camino routes start to converge at Santiago together. As the day went by, the buzzing with excitement turned into a dull roar.
So many people. I just got a message from Albergia for today, and which I'm staying up for 3 nights before my flight to Madrid. And they said, okay, you need to be here by 6, cash payment only, please, thank you. Like, this is Western Europe. Santiago's a huge tourist town. Why are we only accepting cash payments? It is an utterly ridiculous thing upon the Camino de Santiago that drives me nuts.
I'm not gonna lie, that did ruin my walking for about 30 minutes, but eventually that frustration passed and I was able to enjoy the walk once again. By the time I reached this distance marker, the finality of the day had already started to set in. I had gone from seeing over 700 kilometers on one of these to just over 20, and as the day continued, that ticked down, 15 to 10, 5, and then eventually, the Santiago de Compostela Cathedral itself.
Less than 5K to go, 30-something days later.
Crossing this bridge, I finally entered the city of Santiago de Compostela. But, like Logroño and other places, that wasn't the end of the journey. There was still a solid 45 minutes of walking to go.
Welcome to travel mode. I still got another 30 plus minutes to walk to the Catedral de Santiago here in Santiago de Compostela. But my hostel is right here, but I can't check in yet. So I'm gonna walk 30 minutes past it because I can't check in and walk 30 minutes back. Gotta love it.
As I had said so many times on this journey, c'est la vie. Being so close to the cathedral, I wasn't stopping now. Me and hundreds of other people were finally coming to the end of a very long journey, and nothing could take that away from us. Not even seeing our albergue along the way.
Well, there she is. 33, I think, days worth of work, 35, somewhere in there, days worth of work. And I'm here in Santiago de Compostela. And the feeling is not the one I was expecting. It's very odd that I finally made it with all that's happened over the last month. All the people that, you know, just kind of appeared in the last few days, in the last 100K. It's a weird feeling of finality, because in my travels I haven't really had a final stamp on something. You know, there's always something coming up next. Like when I was leaving Cambodia, it was, you know, Tour Siem Reap, get on a bus, or Tour Phnom Penh, get on a plane. Leaving Thailand, it was Thailand to LA, go to a doctor's appointment, go to Mexico, or, you know, even leaving Spain at the aficionado tour was leave Spain, go to a wedding. And now I've got a few weeks before I go to Turkey to just chillax, explore cities, write. So it's an odd feeling of finality. And if you know me, you know I don't do well with things ending in general. So I'll do a little bit more on this in a follow-up video discussing the Camino de Santiago now that I'm here. But if you've enjoyed the last 30-something days with me, the other adventures from the aficionado tour and from the Great Gallivanting, please like those videos, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. It really helps drive the algorithm along. It really helps me shoot to that point of monetization, helps get the book out there. And be sure to share with friends, family, and everyone you know. So with that said, looking forward to talking through the Camino in the next video. But until that one comes up, see you guys on the road.